Hello everybody. Today we are going to start online classes for class 12 English core from Heritage International Public School. I hope every one of you would take these online classes and you would study at home, as you're all at home and you know that you cannot go out, and I'm sure you must be feeling very bored. So I think the best thing is to go through these online classes that the teachers are giving you, because sometimes when the school reopens there will not be a lot of time for syllabus. So please, I advise each and every one of you to study on these online classes till the school reopens. Hello once again, and today I'm going to start the book Flamingo for class 12 English core. The first lesson that I'm going to teach you from Flamingo, ironically, the name of the lesson is the last lesson. Now, this lesson was written by Alphonse Daudet. It was written in the year 180 to 1. He lived in the year 180 to 1897, and this is about the Prussian War that had taken place. And the Prussian War, actually it's called the France-Prussian War, and it had taken place in the year 1870 to 1871, in which France was defeated by Prussia, and it came to law that in this particular area there were two places, Alsace and Lorraine. So it came to law that in these places French will not be taught again, because this was the last lesson that was to be taught on that particular day, and that is why it is called the last lesson. Now I would like to remind you that languages, see, sometimes we don't give much importance to languages. Languages are very important in our life. Be it any language, especially your mother tongue. But sometimes, as it is said, the language is the key to your prison. Means, if you know the language and you are in any place and you want to come out of the place or in a very difficult situation, your language can help you. That is what this complete lesson teaches us, that language, especially your mother tongue, is very important to you, because sometimes what you forget to study today would be very useful for you tomorrow, which we do not realize. And so everyone should take up this concept of learning languages, especially your mother tongue, which will take you away to faraway places. Now I am going to start on the lesson. The lesson is the last lesson. Now I'll tell you about the author. I think it's already there in your book, and you can open your book also at the same time. I think it would be advisable if you would keep your textbooks in front of you while these classes are going on. Alphonse Daudet, he was born in 1840 and he died in 1897. He was a very famous French novelist. He was also a short story writer, and he has written many short stories. The last lesson is set in the days of the Franco-Prussian War. As I told you, now this lesson was written at the last end of the Franco-Prussian War, when there was a war between France and Prussians. Now in those days, Germany was known as Prussia. Today, it is known as Germany. So the war was between France and, you can say, Germany. It was in 1870 to 1871, in which France was defeated by Prussia, led by Bismarck. Prussia then consisted of what now are the nations of Germany, Poland, and parts of Austria. So at that time, when you say Prussia, it consisted, now today it's divided. At that time, it was one nation, one complete country. It's called Prussia, and they were ruled by the Germans. But later on, it was divided into three nations. The three nations are Germany, Poland, and Austria. In the story, the French districts of Alsace and Lorraine. Now there are two important districts in this lesson. And the two important districts in this lesson are, one is Lorraine and the other one is Alsace. In the story, the French districts of Alsace and Lorraine have passed into the Prussian hands. That means the Prussians have defeated the French in these two provinces. At that time, it was not states but provinces. So it was defeated. These two provinces were defeated, and it came into the hands of Prussia. And that is why this story is very important, because at that time, the Prussians, what I mean is, the now called Germans, Poland and Austria, they had declared a rule, or they had sent out a rule that French will never be taught or spoken in these two districts. Only German will be taught here. And that is why today the teacher who was teaching French for almost 40 years in these provinces is very sad to teach the last lesson. And that is why this is called the last lesson. Now for your examination on the 12th board, they can ask you a question. They can put forward a question to you, and they can ask you a question. The question is, justify the title, the last lesson. So what you have to do is, as I've already told you prior in 11th class, and also in 10th class, while we're teaching students in 10th class, and they are now today listening to this online education, I think you would remember me always telling you that justifying the title of the lesson is very, very important, because many times questions arise for the board. Justify the title, the last lesson. If in any case they have asked you to justify the lesson or justify the title, the last lesson, I don't know what answer you would give for that particular question. If you would listen to me carefully now, I think you would understand the answer. Now when they are asking you to justify the title, what does it mean? That is what you have to know. It means that you have to say whether the title of this lesson is apt for this story. And also you have to explain to them why this title is apt for the story. And this is the answer. Listen carefully. Now the title in this lesson, the last lesson, is apt for the story, because there was a time when there was a war between France and the Prussians. The Prussians defeated France, and they took hold of, or they captured, two states or provinces called Lorraine and Alsace. When they captured these two provinces, the Germans declared that French will never be taught in these two provinces. And that is why Mr. Hamel, now there's a character here called Mr. Hamel, who is the teacher who teaches French, because all lessons, every subject was taught in French. So he teaches them only French, and he has been teaching here for the past 40 years. And today as the government has declared that today will be the last day that French will be taught in these two provinces, and Mr. Hamill is to leave this place, and another teacher will come in his place who will teach German. And that is why this lesson is called the last lesson, and the title of the lesson is Act. I hope you understood what I told you. Now I will brief you once more. That's as always I am. I know that you get bored sometimes when I again brief you once more, because I tell you again from the beginning and you tell me, sir, we know. You have already explained, sir, and we have understood. It's not that. When you understand, you have to understand it very clearly. And that is why I always keep repeating it again and again, so that even if you don't open your textbook during the examinations, you will be aware of the lesson and you will be able to write properly for the examination. Now once more I will brief you on this, the last lesson. That is, the last lesson is a story written by Alphonse Dautet. He was a French novelist and also a short story writer. This story was written at the end of the war times, which started in 1870 and ended in 1871. So there was a war between France and the Prussians. And as I told you, the Prussians today is called Germany, Poland and Austria. Now the war ended and the Germans defeated the Prussians. So when they defeated the Prussians, they had captured two main provinces in France called Alsace and Lorraine. These provinces came under the Germans. So the Germans declared a very important rule. The most important rule they declared was that in these two provinces, no more will be taught French. This is the end of French. And from tomorrow onwards, Mr. Hamill, who was a tutor for the French language for the past 40 years, has to leave this school, and a new teacher will be replaced in his place. So when he is replaced in his place, only German will be taught in these two provinces of Alsace and Lorraine. And that is the reason this lesson is also called the last lesson, because this is the last time that French will be taught in these two provinces. I hope you understood, and that is why the title is also justified. I hope you understood up to this, where I have taught